Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. I am Juliet and you're joining me here today at Spoilt Rotten Beads. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a beautiful bracelet. It's a bracelet that we've actually been making and teaching and selling kits for here at Spoilt Rotten Beads since about 2008. It's a beautiful design. It uses a basic 2-needle right angle weave stitch and it's called Hugs and Kisses. And as you can see, it's really pretty. If you've never done any bead weaving before, then this is a brilliant place to start because it's a lovely simple design with a beautiful effect at the end of it, and it really is a good beginner's project. In fact, I think I taught my daughter how to make this bracelet when she was just 8 years old and she really loved making it, and as you can imagine, that year everybody got these for Christmas. So stick with me and I'll show you how to get started. You'll find that there are kits and also a free downloadable pattern on our website too. The website address is www.spoiltrottenbeads.co.uk, and if you're watching this video from outside of the United Kingdom, don't worry, we will ship to you all over the world. So I'm going to show you how to get started now. Okay, so to make one of these lovely right angle weave Hugs and Kisses bracelets, you're going to need the following: some size 11 seed beads, some tiny little 3mm crystal rondelle beads, some 4mm crystal bicones, some 4mm pearls, 10mm pearls, size 6mm fire polish beads, a clasp, and some size 10 beading needles. You're going to need 2 size 10 beading needles, and then you're going to need some fire line thread as well. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is cut yourself a length of fire line thread that's about 1.5 meters long, and onto either end you want to pop a needle so that you've got one continuous length of fire line thread with a needle on either end. And I've got rid of the things that I don't need at this stage of the bracelet, and I've just kept here my 6mm fire polish beads, 10mm glass pearls, 4mm glass pearls, and my size 11 seed beads. And onto my right hand needle I'm going to pick up a 6mm fire polish bead, followed by a size 11 seed bead, a 4mm pearl, another size 11 seed bead, and a size 10mm pearl, and pop those onto my needle there. And then onto my left needle I'm going to pick up a size 11 seed bead, a 4mm pearl, and another size 11 seed bead there. And I'm going to take this off camera for a moment while I just let those beads fall down to the center of my thread. So they're now sitting in the center of my thread, like so. There we go. And then with my left hand needle I'm going to pass back through that 10mm glass pearl and pull it through, and you'll see that as I do this now, what's going to happen is those beads will sit around in a little ring like so. You can see there, that is now the beginning of my ladder. So I've got a tail of my thread coming out either side of my 10mm glass pearl. Now what I'm going to do is repeat that pattern until I've used up all of my beads here that I've got on my mat, all of my size 10mm and size 6mm fire polish beads and my pearls. So on my right hand needle I'm going to pick up a size 11 seed bead, a 4mm glass pearl, a size 11 seed bead, and a fire polish bead. Take those down there to everything else, and then on my left hand needle I'm going to pick up just a size 11 seed bead, a 4mm glass pearl, and a size 11 seed bead, and again let those fall down to the rest of my beads on my mat. And now using this is my left hand needle here, I'm going to go back through my 6mm fire polish bead, and as I pull this through now you'll see again everything slips around and forms that lovely little ladder design there. And now I'm going to repeat that, but this time I'm going to be using a 10mm glass pearl in place of this 6mm fire polish bead. So we're taking my right hand needle, I'm going to pick up a size 11 seed bead, a 4mm glass pearl, a size 11 seed bead and a 10mm glass pearl. Let those fall down there towards the rest of my beads. And now I'm taking my left hand needle, and on my left hand needle I'm going to pick up a size 11 seed bead, 4mm glass pearl and another size 11 seed bead. Take those down to the rest of my beads there on my pattern, and I'm going to go back through that 10mm glass pearl there and pull that through, and as I do you'll find that they will slip around, and again you can see that ladder now really beginning to build. So I'm going to keep going and come back to you when I've threaded on all of my beads, and my threads will be both exiting one of these 6mm fire polish beads. Okay, so I have finished my lovely right angle weave ladder here, and I've used a total of 10 of my fire polish beads, and this will make a bracelet that measures around about just over 7 inches in length. But when you buy a kit from us at Spoilt Rotten Beads, we'll allow some extra, so you'll be able to make a bracelet up to 8 inches in length. But to make one that is 7 inches in length, you're going to need a total of 10 6mm fire polish beads. So both of my needles are exiting from my last fire polish bead here. And what you'll need to do now is you're going to need your 4mm bicones, and you're also going to need some more size 11 seed beads. And I'm just going to turn my work around because I find it easier to work from this direction. So there we go. I find it easier to work with the 6mm fire polish bead, just so like that. So I'm working in that direction. So the first thing that you need to do now is to thread through this size 11 bead, 4mm pearl and size 11 bead, and then back through this 10mm glass pearl here. So I'm going to do that right now, and you need to do that with both sides of your bracelet. So I'm going back through those beads there and through that pearl. Pull that tight, and then with my left hand needle again I'm going to go through the size 11 bead, pearl, size 11 bead, and then also back through that 10mm glass pearl, so that my needles will be exiting either side of that 10mm glass pearl, just like so there. And now on the needle that's on the right here, this one here, I'm going to pick up 3 size 11 seed beads, a crystal and another size 11 seed bead, like so. There we go. And on my left hand needle I'm going to pick up 3 size 11 seed beads and a crystal. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my left hand needle and I'm going to go back through that last size 11 bead that was added with the right hand needle. And this was going to have the effect of making your needles switch sides. And if you pull these over, there they sit in the middle there between these two size 10mm glass pearls. You can see the beginnings of that crisscross there. So now with my needle that's on the right, I'm going to pick up another size 4mm crystal, followed by 3 more size 11 seed beads, and then I'm going to go back through the next 10mm glass pearl in the pattern there. Let's find the hole. Where's it gone? Struggling here. There we go. Through that hole there, and pull that tight. And then on the needle that's on the left, I'm going to do the same. So I'm going to pick up a 4mm crystal, followed by 3 of my size 11 seed beads there. And once again, I'm going to go back through that 10mm glass pearl there. There we go, and pull this tight. And if I pull this tight now and let you have a look at that, you can see how those crystals, those 4 crystals, have form that lovely crisscross design in the middle, and that's where this bracelet gets its name, Hugs and Kisses. So I need to repeat that now for the length of my right angle weave ladder. So I'm going to do that one more time for you. So with my thread exiting this 10mm glass pearl here, I'm going to pick up 3 of my size 11 seed beads, a crystal bead, and one more size 11 seed bead. Let those fall down there. With my other needle, I'm going to pick up 3 size 11 seed beads and a crystal, and then go back through that size 11 seed bead that was added with that first needle there. And again, swap my needles over, pull that tight, and now pick up a 4mm crystal and 3 more size 11 beads, and then go back through that next 10mm glass pearl there, and then do the same with the other needle. So again, I am picking up a 4mm crystal, 3 size 11 seed beads, and then going back through that 10mm glass pearl there and pulling that nice and tight. You can see that you need to pull this tight as you go, and you can see that sparkle beginning to build there on the top of my bracelet. So I'm going to go all the way down my ladder here until I'm finished, and at the end I'm going to wiggle through these the last few beads, and so that my needles are exiting this last 6mm fire polish bead there on the end. Okay, so I've reached the end of my bracelet now, and I have embellished the top with all the lovely sparkly crystals here, but I have almost run out of thread on this side, and I'm not going to have enough thread on this side to be able to complete my bracelet, so I need to add some more thread, which isn't a problem. What I'm going to do to finish off my thread is I'm going to take my longer side, my longest length of thread, and I'm going to just thread through all of the beads here so that it's exiting on the same side as my shorter tail of thread here, and then I'm going to knot both ends of thread together so that it's nice and secure before I add some more thread onto my piece. And adding on thread with this right angle weave design is super duper easy, as you'll see in just a moment. So thread all through those beads there, so that now both of my strands of thread are exiting from the same space there. One is exiting from the 10mm pearl, and one is actually exiting from the size 11 seed bead, but they're both right next to each other. So now what I can do is just tie a simple knot there in my thread, just making sure everything's pulled nice and tight. And now I'm going to tie a double knot here, just a nice double knot there, make sure that's nice and secure, and then later on when I've finished my piece I will snip off that thread there. So I've removed my needles from these tails of thread that I don't need anymore, but of course now what I need to do is to add on some more thread. So I need to cut myself a length of thread, which I have done here, and then I need to thread up my needles on either end just the same way that you did before. So that's one needle threaded, and get to my other end of thread and thread on that one too. It's always fun trying to thread needles when you're on camera. It's never goes quite as easily as it does when you're not on camera for some reason. I'm not quite sure why, but there we go, nearly there. I always find that when I'm threading my needle, it's a bit easier if you flatten the end of your fire line with your thumbnails. Just makes it thread a lot easier. So there we go, I've got a needle on either end now of my fire line. So to add on the thread, all I need to do is thread through this 10mm pearl in the middle here with one of my needles, and then let my needle sit either side of my 10mm glass pearl, and you can see that effectively that thread is now added on. So I'm just going to even up my needles and make sure that that the center of my thread is in the middle of that bead there. And then what I'm going to do is thread through the size 11 bead pearl and size 11 bead and fire polish bead, so that I am exiting from the 6mm fire polish bead there at the end, and I want both needles to be exiting from that bead, one from either side. So again, with my other needle, I'm doing exactly the same thing, going through that size 11 bead, size 4mm pearl, size 11 bead, and through that 6mm fire polish bead there, and pull that tight, and there we go. So I'm not going to need those tails of thread. There's my new thread there exiting from my 6mm fire polish bead. And just so that I don't get myself in a horrid tangle as I start to complete the rest of my bracelet, I'm just going to trim off these tails of thread right there with my cute little bird scissors here. There we are. And now I'm ready to actually attach the clasp onto this end of the bracelet. So in order to do this, I am going to need my clasp ring, some size 11 seed beads, and also another crystal. And I'm just grabbing my crystal here from my bag. There we go. And another crystal. So to do this, I'm taking my right hand needle here, picking up 3 size 11 seed beads, a size 4mm bead, 3 size 11 seed beads, the ring from my clasp, and another 3 size 11 beads. Take that all down there. Now what I'm going to do is go back through that 4mm crystal, pull it all tight, and pick up 3 more size 11 seed beads. There we go. And before I go back through that 6mm fire polish bead there. If I pull this tight in a moment, you will see everything sits around nice and neatly there and creates a nice neat clasp loop, and that's my clasp attached. But in order to make sure that this is nice and strong and this bracelet lasts the test of time, what I'm going to do now is take my other needle, so my left hand needle, and retrace my thread path all the way through those beads one more time, so that I've got a double strand of fire line going through the beads in my clasp loop there. So that's what I'm doing right now with my other needle. So I'm going through everything just one more time, so that we have nice strong clasp loop there that is going to stand the test of time. So do those final seed beads there, and then back out through the 6mm fire polish bead. And again, I just need to pull it all tight. There we are. So now there's a double strand going through. So now I'm on to the finishing touches of my bracelet, and what I need to do is use these lovely little 3mm crystal rondelles here to embellish the sides of my bracelet, and I'm going to do that between the right angle weave base that we made right at the beginning there. So what I want to do now is thread through the next size 11 seed bead, 4mm pearl, size 11 seed bead that we've got, and I'll be exiting on the side here of a 10mm glass pearl. To pick up one of my little crystal beads and go back through the next size 11 seed bead, 4mm glass pearl, size 11 seed bead, size 11 seed bead, 4mm glass pearl, size 11 seed bead, and pull this tight, and that little crystal will slot into place there and provide a lovely little sparkle on the edge of the bracelet. And again, my thread is now exiting a size 11 seed bead on the edge of one of my 10mm glass pearls, and I can repeat that process again. And I am so just going back through all of those beads there on the edge until I exit on the side of one of those 10mm glass pearls. And that little crystal will now just slot into place quite neatly. And this has the effect of really tightening up the edges of your bracelet. So I'm going to do that all on this side, and then I'm going to flip my bracelet over and do exactly the same thing on the other side of my bracelet there. And I'm going to come back to you when I've done that and just show you how to attach the clasp again for the end of my bracelet, and then we will be done. So I'm going to come back to you when we're ready to do that. Okay, so I've finished now embellishing the edges of my bracelet, and I've got that lovely sparkle from those 3mm crystals there all the way down the sides, and I'm ready to finish off my bracelet by attaching the other end of my clasp. So to do so, I'm taking my right hand needle and I'm going to thread on 3 of my size 11 seed beads, a 4mm crystal, 3 more size 11 seed beads, and then the other half of my clasp, and 3 more size 11 seed beads. There we go. And now I'm going to go back through that crystal that I just added, all that nice and tight, and pick up 3 more size 11 seed beads before I go back through that 6mm fire polish bead on the end of my bracelet there. Pull this nice and tight. There we go. There's my clasp loop at the end there, and I just want to add a little bit of strength to it now by stitching with my other needle all the way through the beads in the clasp loop, just like we did on the other end of the bracelet there, so that I've got a nice double strand of my fire line going through the clasp loop. It really does add some strength to the piece. So I'm just going to wiggle my bracelet around here so I can get into a position where I can go through the beads. There we go. Through everything here. There we are. And back through my 6mm fire polish bead at the end there. Pull that nice and tight. And I'm now ready to finish off my thread there. So to finish off the thread, I'm going to thread down through some of the beads on the side here, so that I'm exiting from a size 11 bead. I'm going to hook underneath my thread, and so that I have a little loop like so, go through that loop, and that makes a knot which I can then pull in between my 2 beads. And I'm going to do that a couple of times so that I'm really happy that it's nice and secure before I trim off my excess thread. I'm going to go through a few more beads here and just repeat that process so that I'm really happy that my knots are going to hold and that my bracelet is nice and secure there. There we go. There we are. I'm happy that that's nice and secure on that side there. So now what I can do is trim off my thread there. There we go. And then I'm ready to do the same thing on the other side there of my bracelet, and my bracelet will be finished. So I hope you have enjoyed watching this video and that you're going to make your own Hugs and Kisses bracelets. Please let us know what you think in the comments below, and come back soon for more inspiration. And don't forget that you can find everything you need to make these on our website, www.spoiltrussianbeads.co.uk. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.